Hello everyone, my name is Mr. EX and I'm back with another Rome 2 replay cast, and this time I'm going to be casting a battle that my good friend Socrates from SH Clan sent over to me. He's going to be playing as the Boii versus SH Sol Invictus, who will be playing as the Nervii. And Socrates hasn't sent me any replays previously actually, and I don't think he even particularly sent it in for the purpose of casting. He just said it was a really good battle and he wanted me to see it, so I'm not sure exactly what the crux of this battle is or what makes it so interesting or who's going to win even, so this should definitely be very interesting. These are two very competent players if you don't know them. A lot of you probably do, but yeah, just take my word for it if you don't. They are both very competent players. So let's have a quick look at the army compositions here. So we have, let's go to Nervii because the Boii right now is really they're in a weird setup here, and Nervii are more manageable, I think. So we have from Sol, we have two Levy Freemen here, some Spear Brothers, more Spear Brothers, so two Spear Brothers, 3, 4, so 4 Levy Freemen, 2 Spear Brothers so far, what I can see. Celtic War, Fierce Sword, 3 Oathsworn, 3 Fierce Swords, and 2 Celtic Wars? Something like that, and we have 1 Mighty Horse, 2 Mighty Horse, and the 3 Germanic Scout Riders. Do we have any skirmish from the Nervii? Not that I can see for the time being. So skirmishless Nervii brought by Sol Invictus. And we have a meat shield force here, Levy Freeman and Celtic Warriors. Don't normally use this meat shield, these guys. We have Celtic skirmishers in the front, not normally used for meat shields either, but I guess they want to toss some javelins quickly before the enemy charges in, so it's probably a good idea to put them in front before pulling them back. We have Celtic Warriors here as well. Levy Freeman being used to screen off these Germanic Scouts, which is very important because the Germanic Scouts can get their rear shots here on sword followers, and these guys are probably going to get a... Ooh, and the charge was kind of baited. We did see 6 Germanic Scouts eating it there, but they're not a very expensive unit, so I think both sides had a pretty cost-effective engagement there. I mean, these Germanic Scouts didn't lose many, and these guys lost their javelin toss. So these Celtic Singers are going to be doing a lot of damage to Germanic Scout Riders actually, and we're going to see... Are we going to see a charge here? Yes, we are going to see a charge, but the Heavy Horse are here to intercept them, and we also have... The sword followers just going to throw their javelins, and honestly this probably wasn't a good idea. This is a bit of a waste of a Germanic Scout. It's almost certainly not going to rout the Celtic Slinger here because it didn't connect with enough of them. So definitely a waste of a unit here. 2 Germanic Scout Riders going around the back of the Boii, but he should be careful because with Frenzy Charge, if effectively used, these Heavy Horse can trap these guys at the back end of the map. We have an engagement here that I missed, sorry about that. But these Levy Freemen weren't effectively charged by these Mighty Horse because otherwise they would have lost a lot more men here. And it would be significantly more knocked over. And we have Skirmish Fire being focused in on this Mighty Horse here. So interesting stuff. This Levy Freeman was probably sacrificed. My guess would be it's probably been sacrificed to allow Socrates to rotate here. I'm going to see some really cheeky javelin tosses on this Heavy Horse, which is actually be quite crucial in terms of HP damage against the Mighty Horse of the Nervii. But yeah, these Germanic Scouters are being used pretty well. This one back here that was lost, not used particularly well, but it's okay. They're not that expensive. You can afford to make mistakes like that. So these Levy Freemen here, creating a front line here of these meat shields. It seems like Socrates is being pushed back here. It seems like he just wants to... Yeah, I do this a lot. Whenever you feel like you're being microed from too many different places, you'll just pull away from the enemy because you know that your engagement that you'll get won't be properly microed, because right now he's having to deal with these Germanic Scouts, so he's just pulling back away from the engagement so he can focus on the micro against these guys and not have to divert his attention. And no doubt that's why Sol Invictus is microing on both flanks, because he wants to divert Socrates' attention so that his micro is poor. And he's using these cheap units to do it, so if he mismicros them, it's not a huge cost. And if he manages to get all of his charges, it doesn't matter if he loses all 3 of these Germanic Scout Riders without getting any kills. So yeah, the idea is make Socrates mess up here. These Mighty Horse are going to get a nice charge, but they did get a javelin toss here, and then these Levy Freemen are going to get a javelin toss as well. These Mighty Horse have lost so much HP. And these were only Celtic Warriors actually. I'm not sure if I agree with that move. He probably should have just straight up charged them with either Nervii Freeman or just charged them the Oathsworn. They really wouldn't have lost many men. So yeah, I didn't agree with that charge there. But yeah, these Celtic Wars are going to die, but was it worth it? I don't know. These sword followers are going to get a pretty decent jab toss on that mighty horse. That mighty horse, I told you, that HP is not good for the mighty horse, but we do see clean charge from these Celtic Warriors without a counter charge from those sword followers. So a pretty nice engagement here from the Nervii. But again, that cavalry loss is going to be quite important because the amount of effective cavalry that the Nervii has is less than the Boii. We're going to see two clean charges. Celtic Warriors and Oathsworn here are going to destroy this Levy Freeman. But if Sol Invictus can quickly get his units in before the Oathsworn gets a second charge, that'd be nice. But it doesn't seem like he's going to be able to do that. These Levy Freemen are absolutely getting destroyed here. Nice little charge here from these heavy horse. They are heavy in mass, so they're going to do quite a bit of damage to these Celtic Warriors, and they're going to support their sword followers that didn't get a charge previously. So a very nice move here from Socrates. Nice. Well, they're going to catch these Levy Freemen, but ultimately the whole point of this exercise is to stop the charges of the Fierce Swords. The Fierce Swords didn't get a good charge though, so actually the Oathsworn are going to beast out this fight. None of these units got a good charge, although we do see a nice charge from these Fierce Swords. But yeah, overall not a hugely cost-effective engagement here from Sol Invictus. And we see this heavy horse circling around. Are they going to go for the rear charge? That'd be nice, but no, they're going to instead get a weird, awkward frontal charge. But we do see these Oathsworn coming in here, and they're getting a pretty much a clean charge here on this general, so they're probably going to do pretty well. But it wasn't a good enough charge in order to seal the fate of that fight, so Socrates can definitely turn this one around. These heavy horse here are... I'm not sure who got the charge there, but we'll see. We definitely have sword follower support here, so this is going to go in the favor of the Boii. Oathsworn versus Oathsworn. It seems like the Boii Oathsworn didn't get a very good charge. We're going to see a rear charge here from these Scout Riders, so that's going to put that firmly in the favor of the Nervii Oathsworn here. But there is going to be a counter charge from these heavy horse to destroy those Germanic Scouts. And we're going to see a decent-ish charge here onto the Oathsworn. It's not amazing. I mean, we see this guy stabbing the Oathsworn here, but it wasn't a particularly amazing charge because they weren't properly, they didn't wrap around the unit effectively. Another charge here from the Fierce Swords, and these guys are going to do pretty well because they have a nice charge. Ooh, we have a really nice charge from these heavy horse here, although cavalry counter-tactics was engaged, so they're going to take a lot of losses, or HP damage at least. But he's going to move right on through, he's getting a nice rear charge here, and this looks like this battle is going to be heavily in the favor of Socrates here. At this stage, not sure what's going to happen at the very end. Levy Freeman here moving its support, get some rear charges. All the skirmish of Socrates is alive, so unless if... Yeah, that's the problem. The cavalry contingent of Sol Invictus was largely squandered because he used it as a diversionary? I'm not sure how to say that. It was used as a tactic to confuse and to take away Socrates' attention from the mainline engagement. As a result, it was very sacrificial, which means that there isn't much cavalry to deal with this skirmish, so this is almost certainly going to go in the favor of Socrates. But yeah, some really nice micro from both players here. We also have heavy cavalry here left for Socrates. He's going to pull out his cavalry here, hopefully, if he knows what's good for him. But yeah, there's just too much on the field for the Nervii to deal with. Nice, Sol Invictus pulled out his Fierce Swords here to get another charge on these Oathsworn. They're going to do pretty well against the Oathsworn, actually. These guys, when they get repeated rear charges, do really nicely. So, nicely used the Fierce Swords, but as you can see, the skirmish fire just pouring into those Fierce Swords. They're going to die so quickly. And if Socrates pursues this engagement, he's going to get a lot of kills because these guys have pushed to the left and they've forsaken the engagement here. I'm going to see another charge from... Ooh, Spear Brothers? Yeah, they're going to pull away from that charge, actually, yeah. There's absolutely no way Sol Invictus can win this. So we're just going to enjoy some combat until... Ooh, that's pretty brutal. We're just going to enjoy some combat for the time being and wait for this game to end. But yeah, thanks Socrates for setting this one in. Nice little victory here. When he sent it to me, I kind of expected some sort of... He implied that there was something particularly special about this battle. I'm not sure, I haven't seen it yet, maybe I've missed something, but yeah, really good micro from both players. A bit of a steamroll this time, but I mean, that doesn't happen very often against Sol Invictus, so very well played to both players. Let's see the stats here. So, yeah, pretty much an absolute destruction here. But to be fair, the weaker of the two factions definitely the Nervii, and you can see that because you have the 3-0 sworn from both players, as you'd expect when you're playing semi-competitively here. But the mid-tier swords that have been brought are better for the Boii. They have better cavalry, which is far more effective at blocking charges and doing HP damage. You have no skirmish here, which, I mean, it was for more Levy Freeman Spear Brothers. These Spear Brothers weren't used effectively. I mean, I imagine the idea was to deal with the heavy horse in the rear or the front, frontal cavalry charges from Socrates, but they didn't do a particularly good job. But yeah, on the whole, you can see that this army is just much better than this one. So there's definitely a factional advantage here that comes into play. But I think overall, when we saw the battle, I think the micro this time was sloppier from Sol Invictus. A lot of failed charges. His Levy Freeman, a lot of them died for no reason. They were either used for a holding maneuver or they just got kind of caught. And there were no follow-up charges when he needed them. So his Levy Freeman was squandered as well. So yeah, a lot of factors as to why Sol Invictus lost that battle. Very good battle. But yeah, you definitely don't see that very often. But yeah, okay, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. I have some very interesting 4v4s, 3v3s, 2v2s. I really want to show you guys that I've built up over time. As I say, I've been really busy these past few weeks, so forgive me, and I do like to get some Rome 2 time when I have the chance. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with some more Rome 2. So yeah, see ya.